Yo, what's up, mighty military gang? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some absolutely massive news straight out of Russia that is going to make a lot of NATO planners lose sleep, because Rostec CEO Sergei Chemezov just dropped a bomb, literally, on November 26th, 2025. In an interview with TASS, he openly confirmed that Russia's only operational fifth-generation stealth fighter, the Sukhoi Su-57 Felon, will soon be able to drop bombs equipped with the famous UMPK Universal Glide and Correction modules. Yes, you heard that right. The same cheap but terrifyingly effective glide bombs that Su-34s, Su-35s, and Su-30s have been raining down on Ukrainian positions for the last 2 years are now coming to the stealthiest fighter in the Russian inventory. This is not just a small upgrade, this is a complete game changer. And today we're going to break down exactly why this matters, how it works, what it means on the battlefield, and why this might be one of the smartest moves Russia has made in the entire conflict. First, let's quickly remind everyone what the UMPK actually is, because if you've been following the war in Ukraine, you already know these things are nightmare fuel. UMPK stands for Uniwersalny Modul Planirowania I Korekcji, basically a universal planning and correction module. In simple terms, it's a bolt-on kit that takes old, dumb Soviet-era fab bombs, Fab 250, Fab 500, Fab 1500, even the monster 3-ton Fab 3000, and turns them into smart, gliding, satellite-guided precision weapons. You weld a pop-out wing kit at the front, add a tail section with control surfaces, slap on a cheap inertial navigation system backed up by GLONSS satellite guidance, and boom, your 500 kg dumb bomb that used to fall wherever gravity felt like now glides 40 to 70 kilometers, depending on release altitude, and hits within a few meters of the target, even under moderate jamming. The beauty of the UMPK is that it's dirt cheap. Western estimates say one kit costs around $20,000 US, sometimes even less in mass production. Compare that to a JDAM-ER kit, which is roughly double that price, or a proper cruise missile that can easily cost $1 million a pop. Russia went from producing a few thousand of these in 2023 to reportedly 40,000 in 2024, and Rostec is aiming for 70,000 in 2025. That's industrial-scale spam of precision-guided heavy explosives, something the West simply cannot match at that price point and volume. Up until now, the main carriers have been the Su-34 fullback, which can carry a ridiculous number of these things, and increasingly Su-35S flankers and Su-30SM multi-role fighters. They climb high, accelerate, release the bombs from 60 to 70 kilometers away, well outside the reach of short-range air defense systems like Stinger or Strela, and sometimes even outside medium-range systems if they stay back far enough. Ukrainian troops literally call these things building removers because one direct hit from a Fab 500 UMPK or larger turns any fortified house into a crater. Now, Sergei Chemezov just confirmed that this exact same system is being integrated onto the Su-57, and that, my friends, is where things get spicy, because the Su-57 is not just another fourth-generation jet with better avionics. This is Russia's first stealth fighter, low observable coating, internal weapon bays, super cruise capability, advanced sensor fusion, powerful N036 Belka radar, and 360-degree infrared search and track. Until now in Ukraine, the Su-57 has mostly been used as a standoff missile shooter, launching long-range Kh-69 cruise missiles or R-37M hypersonic air-to-air missiles from deep inside Russian or Belarusian airspace, never even crossing the border because Russia wants to preserve these expensive airframes. But once the Su-57 gets UMPK capability, the whole threat profile changes dramatically. Why? Because now you can take a stealth jet that is extremely hard to detect on radar, fly it relatively close to the front line at high altitude, pop open the internal weapon bays for just a few seconds, release 4 FAB 500 UMPK or maybe 2 heavier ones in full stealth configuration, close the bays again, and disappear before most enemy radars even know you were there. The bombs themselves are not stealthy, of course, but by the time enemy radar picks up the falling bombs, the Su-57 is already 100 kilometers away turning back home or switching to air superiority mode with its R-77-1 or R-37M air-to-air missiles. Even if they decide to carry more bombs externally for non-stealth missions, the Su-57 can still bring a lot more payload than people think, up to 8 to 10 tons total, and it can release everything from much higher and faster than a Su-34, meaning even longer glide ranges, potentially 80 to 100 kilometers for lighter bombs. Imagine a package of 2 Su-57s in stealth mode, opening corridors by taking out key S-300 or Patriot radar sites with heavy UMPK bombs, followed by waves of Su-34s and Su-35s dumping dozens more on logistics nodes and command posts. That is the kind of layered deep stripe scenario that keeps Ukrainian and NATO air defense commanders up at night. And here's the scary part for the West. This combination of stealth platform plus ultra-cheap mass-produced glide bombs is something NATO simply does not have an answer for right now. Patriot batteries are insanely expensive. One missile can cost $3 to $4 million, and you might need 2 to guarantee a kill on a single incoming glide bomb that cost Russia maybe $25,000, $30,000 all-inclusive. The math just doesn't work when the enemy can spam hundreds of these things per day. Even NASAM's IRIS-T or shorter-range systems struggle because the release aircraft is often outside their engagement envelope, especially when it's a low-observable Su-57. This move also tells us a lot about how Russia is thinking about modern warfare. Chemezov himself keeps repeating that wars are won with mass and simplicity, not just with a handful of golden bullets. By making the UMPK truly universal, from the old S-27s all the way up to the Su-57, Russia now has one single family of smart bombs that every tactical aircraft in its inventory can use. Same logistics, same training, same production lines. That is force multiplication on steroids. And let's not forget the export angle. Countries like India, Algeria, Vietnam, or potential future Su-57 buyers now get a fighter that can use dirt-cheap glide bombs instead of having to buy expensive Western or Russian cruise missiles for every strike mission. If you already have thousands of old FAB bombs lying around in storage, just buy the kits from Russia and suddenly your Air Force has credible deep strike capability without breaking the bank. So, where does this leave us? In 2025 and beyond, the Su-57 is evolving from a niche long-range missile truck into a true multi-role stealth striker that can deliver massive destructive power at a fraction of the cost Western air forces are used to paying. Combined with the sheer volume Russia's producing, this is a doctrine built for long, high-intensity conflicts, exactly the kind we're seeing in Ukraine right now. This is no longer just an adaptation born out of necessity. This is Russia institutionalizing a whole new way of precision strike warfare, one that merges cutting-edge fifth-generation platforms with 1940s-style mass bomb production, but now made smart and accurate. And when your stealth fighter can deliver a 1.5-ton bomb through a rooftop 70 kilometers away for less than the price of a used car, yeah, that's a problem. All right, mighty military fam, that's the breakdown. The Su-57 plus UMPK is officially happening, and it's going to make the skies over any future battlefield a very dangerous place for anyone on the receiving end. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this changes the balance in Ukraine? Can NATO come up with a cost-effective counter? Smash that like button if you want more deep dives like this. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay mighty. Peace.